All right, y'all. It's the Nonsense and Deep Thoughts Podcast.
What's up, good buddy?
I couldn't do it in time. What's up? What's up?
Oh, what were you trying to do this time, man?
I was trying to throw up a solo meme, just put up before our fucking faces because goddamn, and it's great. It's Winnie the Pooh floating in midair with his little fucking balloon.
Oh, because of the Chinese spy balloon. I wonder if it's just in the U.S.
It's not a spy balloon.
I wonder if it's just in the U.S. or if they've seen these all over the world. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us again on the Nonsense and Deep Thoughts Podcast. It's so great to have you here for another episode. Season 4, episode 20. We missed a huge opportunity here tonight. Pointed out by Jared. Thanks, bud. I feel so bad now. I wish we took advantage of this opportunity, but I'm glad to be here. And as always, alongside my good buddy Justin. But Opie, Brandy, what's going on, guys? How the hell are you? Check out this wicked flag behind me. This was a birthday gift I got. This was like the biggest birthday gift I've gotten in.
You might need to stand up and move.
It's gigantic. It's from a local company called Grain to Glory Flag Company. It is an American flag with our podcast logo on it, customized. Beautiful. Every time I walk into this room now, every time I walk into my media room, I smile because I love it that much. I think it's incredible. I made a joke about it on Facebook one day. Back after
it wasn't
the New
a joke.
Well, it was because while I really wanted
it was a lighthearted request.
Lighthearted request. But you know the craziest thing is not only did my father and his wife surprise me with this gift, I found out that there were 2 other people that inquired about getting this for me after they put the order in. 2 other people asked about it, and they were told it was already ordered and already being made, and that they wanted to help pay for it too. They weren't allowed to, but it just feels cool. Like it feels good. I'm so happy. Like I didn't know y'all loved me, but thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're so loved.
As Guardian King, welcome in. You're incredible, sir. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Now, on to the news. This week in the news, a Chinese weather balloon has been spotted over the U.S., and it apparently has been shot down. What do you think on this story, Justin?
Has it been shot down?
Yeah, so the most recent report was that it was shot down over the Carolinas. And from what Jared
was a second one.
It very well might be, because I thought that I read there was one over Montana just yesterday or the day before.
Yes, it does.
Called it.
Hold on. So it says my balls, your face.
Guys, Justin is just rocking the most hillbilly of outfits tonight.
I always wear the camo hat. Come on.
I fucking love him. He's got the cutoff shirt that says my balls, your face, which was a kickball team. Just keep that in mind, okay?
Dodgeball.
Dodgeball, whatever. Kickball, dodgeball. Their balls, they're in people's faces, whatever. He's got the fucking backwards hat on.
Always, though.
And he's got his trusty drink alongside of him.
And yeah, that's gonna stay there though.
When he pulled the drink out, I'm like, you got to do this on camera. You got to. It just makes me smile. But yeah. So what I heard was it was over Montana just like a day or 2 ago. And then the story I saw today was that it was shot down over the Carolinas. There you go, guys. It's rocking that 2 liter of Mountain Dew. Who needs a fucking cup when you live alone, right? Why dirty a cup? I fucking love it.
Absolutely.
But okay, so here's the craziest thing to me, and I'm pretty sure I told you about it already, Justin. The craziest thing to me about this balloon, the video I saw Someone took a video of it, and when I saw this video, I thought, holy fuck, I saw that just a week or two ago. So I was on my way to work one morning, and just over the horizon, I saw what I thought was a really bright fucking star or a planet. And I remember thinking to myself, what planet is that bright in the sky right now? Because it literally looked like a miniature moon. And I thought for a split second that maybe I was seeing a UFO. Didn't say anything because I tell my wife my UFO stories all the time anyway. I feel like I mentioned it to her, but I don't remember. I might have, I might not have. But I swear to God, I fucking saw this thing a week or two ago. So is that the only one? Are they floating all over our fucking country right now?
Well,
Are they
like
floating over
I
other countries? What the hell's
said,
going on, man?
I know there was the second sighting. The first one I had read a headline, and maybe the first paragraph or two of a story that Biden was trying to shoot down the first one and was told don't do it.
Who was he told don't do it by? Who said not to shoot it down?
The Department of Homeland Security, all of them.
As
he was
Guardian
trying
King
to-
said, as Guardian King says, it sounds like our military that is stationed stateside is bored.
I don't know.
Well,
it's nerve-wracking.
The other thing that I heard is that when the Chinese commented on it, they said, yeah, it's ours, and it's just a weather balloon that floated off course. That's what I had heard. But you don't know. You never know right now, man. Like
Everything's a fucking weather balloon around here.
I don't know. You should at least... Well, how did it get over the interior of our country without being spotted by radar or something? Jared pointed that out before the show. He's like, how did that get by without being noticed?
No idea.
And apparently, when it was shot down, the debris covered a 7-mile radius. So hopefully, in their search to clean this shit up, they find something to tell us what it is. But
like I said, I didn't even realize they shot one down.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. Normally, if something from another country crosses our border, that's technically an act of war. They generally shoot it down if it's over mainland U.S. You would think. Yeah. But is it the Chinese? Or is it aliens? Is it the aliens that are living in the lost city of Atlantis?
Now, if they shot it down, don't you think they would know where it came from now? Like, there's got to be markings on it that would give away what it actually was.
It could be.
See, the reason I'm beginning to believe it now is CNN has it posted as a Chinese spy balloon.
Right. Yeah, and that's my thought too, Brandy. They knew about it, and that's why they waited so long to take it down. Yes, China did admit it was theirs, but they called it a weather balloon. They said it was a plane.
Call it a weather balloon?
Yeah, they called it a weather balloon. From what I heard, they called it a weather balloon that just drifted off course. Like, I don't know why the U.S. is so concerned over this. Because, China's kind of being aggressive nowadays. Russia's being aggressive nowadays. And do you know why they're all being aggressive and pushing their luck? Because we have weak leadership.
Yep.
We have weak leadership that won't make tough decisions.
And that was them. Whether it was a spy balloon or not, it could have been a weather balloon. They just wanted to see how far they could get away with it.
It's testing. Yes. It's testing. And it goes like that for a lot of things going on nowadays. And not just diplomatic, like not just diplomacy between countries. There are groups of people pushing boundaries more and more nowadays just to see how far they can get and how much they can take.
Absolutely. I mean, you said aside from diplomacy, but China has done it recently. Like a month or two ago, they were shooting missiles over Taiwan.
Well, didn't North Korea shoot missiles over Japan? Is that the story you're trying to think of?
No. China was shooting them over Taiwan because of U.S. military troops there.
Yeah, King, I totally get that, my dude. I totally get that. I understand that a weather balloon is not detectable because it doesn't have any metal. We're just trying to theorize, man. Don't ruin my fucking fun. I bet their minimum wage isn't $15. Anyone that has run a radar system can tell you this info. Well, guess what, Asgardian King? I have not run a radar system. So piss off. But you know, my favorite part about all this is the well, that's awesome. The collection of memes that has come about because of this has been one of my favorite parts about all this. So I wanted to share a couple of them. I actually just looked up a website just to bring some funny to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some good ones, man. I think there's some really good ones. This one's okay. Chinese spy balloon just sent back its first pictures from Missouri. Okay. This one I love, though. This one I love. They're delivering the Chinese food. That one's one of my favorites. It's simple, yet it gets the message across. I like it. This one makes a good point, too, though. Phone apps spy on us 24 hours a day, recording every single aspect of our lives. But people see a stupid balloon and everybody loses their mind. And then because I'm a gamer, I do like this one. This is a Call of Duty reference for anybody who doesn't know. I fucking love it. Oh my God. So yeah.
Something needs to get done. I don't know.
Something needs to get done with what?
Our leadership. I don't want to go too political today, but
you never want to go political anymore. But
this wouldn't have happened if the fucking orange man was in office.
He'd have shot it down first and asked questions later.
It wouldn't have even been in our airspace.
Yeah.
China wouldn't be being aggressive. Russia wouldn't be aggressive at this point. Like, it just... None of this shit right now would be happening. We just don't have the balls to do anything.
My favorite was the one about they were just sending Hunter Biden a birthday present. What was the balloon full of?
Finally looking into all of that fucking shit.
Yeah.
The laptop and how Twitter suppressed that story.
Oh, yeah. I have not. Oh, man, I would love to talk about Twitter and everything that is going on with the Twitter files, but I have not kept up enough recently to talk about it with any sort of intelligence.
I know.
So I
want to go
work.
and read them.
Yeah, that wouldn't work very well for me.
But no, like the government is, I think it's the former CEO of Twitter, somebody high up from Twitter, who was formerly with them, is going in front of, I think, Congress to explain like why they suppressed it and shit like that.
All right, so I don't know why. When did you? All right, I'm totally unfocused now.
That's what I said as Guardian.
I'm totally unfocused now because
I said, Kingy.
I just looked at your little headline underneath your name.
Oh.
Did you change that before we went live? Because I didn't look at that yet.
No. I had co-host up, and then I'm sitting here. I'm like, you know what? Let me fucking do it. And I looked. That's when I turned to the side.
From The Office, Dwight, right?
Yep.
Oh my god. Fucking, I can't even focus.
I'm surprised that Alex didn't pick up on that before you did.
Yeah, I know. Well, because now we're talking about China. And I think I'm with King on this, that China wouldn't be pulling the shit they are, and the Russian-Ukraine war would not be happening.
Correct.
We're sending more money over to Ukraine. How? I can't, man. I don't know. I haven't even kept up with that end of world events with the war. I just know that we keep sending money over there. What was the one interesting...
Which further pisses off Russia.
Yeah.
Like, I get you want to back Ukraine, but there's how many other countries in fucking NATO? Why are we the ones footing this fucking bill?
And by a shit ton. Like we're spending a lot of money on it. Yeah.
Like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen soon.
What's that, World War III?
Mm-hmm. It's coming.
Yeah. You know, the same with the poles flipping, and the core of the earth is stopping and then flipping again. And I mean, we might all die soon. Right? Right?
We're all gonna die soon. Like, if you think
Yeah,
relatively, we're all gonna die.
My wife is here in chat, and she makes a good point. And our country's struggling with the worst inflation ever, and we're all struggling, choosing whether to buy groceries or pay the bills. Yeah.
Truth, like
Fucking Pat. Welcome in, Charlie. Have you caught up with all the episodes, my good man? A 4-star general stated he believes we will be at war with China by the end of 2025. I really wouldn't doubt it.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I really wouldn't doubt it. They're just testing their limits. And I don't care if it's just a weather balloon. It could be. I really don't think they need a balloon to spy on us. Like, what are they checking in on? That one meme is absolutely right. We have phones in our pockets that are mass produced over in China. And they have
not
technology.
Even that. The one of the biggest social media apps right now is a Chinese run app.
Yeah, that's my wife mentioned that earlier too. TikTok.
That has so much spyware built into it. Like, you have to sign off everything. So we're on that topic. I watched a documentary, I think it was on Prime, called Kim.com. Now, the guy changed his last name to .com. But in the 90s, when computers first came around, he was a big hacker scammer, fucking made a ton of fucking money doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Got busted, spent like a year or two in jail, came out, you're looking, it's like 2000, and gets in, he went on all the talk shows, he started working for a big company, as a anti-hack, to like write code so people couldn't hack it. Turned around and he started his own website called Mega Upload. I don't know if you remember it.
Nope. Don't remember that at all.
Essentially, what it turned into is he created that. It was like the first cloud website where he was trying to send a video to somebody, but it was too big to send in an email at the time. So he figured out a way that you could save it on the internet and just send a link, and the link would never be too big. So then that turned into people sharing movies, music, just like Napster. Well, he was in New Zealand as he was doing that, and the United States government, because of Hollywood losing money, like, they're still trying and fighting this guy to this day, like fighting this to get him extradited from New Zealand so he could be charged here with copyright infringements and all of this shit. But it got to the point where the CIA, they didn't say it because it was redacted in documents, got in touch with the spy agency, our NSA for the New Zealand area, and they literally spied on this guy, tapped everything he had, no clue, in his cell phones, and every camera he had. So like, that technology's out there on your phone, like, your camera, even when it's off, is fucking recording you.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that you have the option to go into your settings and turn off your camera, turn off your microphone, this, that, and the other. But I
It
feel
doesn't
like they
guarantee
can
it
still
turns
turn
it
it
off.
on. I feel like they can still
Right.
turn it on no matter what. And I mean, honestly, myself, what the fuck am I worried about? I don't really care. Personally, for me in my life, what are they going to see? I mean, are they going to see me on the toilet with my phone scrolling through memes and shit?
Right.
I mean, I don't really care. But they have the means to do this already.
So yeah, so then what's the point of a spy balloon?
The point that I was just getting at is the same thing we mentioned earlier, is doesn't matter about the spy capabilities of it, recording or whatever. It's testing limits, testing how they can get into our airspace, testing how they can get into our country, seeing our kind of response to it, our military's response, our government's response, this and that. I don't like it. I've heard the term slippery slope used a lot lately in regards to morals and when it comes to the transgender issues, and now with the drag shows and transing the kids and all that. It started years and years ago when they just wanted acceptance, and it was said it's going to be a slippery slope. They're going to take more and more and more. They're going to want more and more and more. They're going to demand more and more and more. It's the same thing with this. They're going to test it little by little. And each time they get away with something, they're going to push a little further. They're going to push a little further each time. And it's going to come to a head sooner or later. And the thing that I worry about is that the government now, the people in power, the Democrats, everyone on the left wants so badly to take our rights to own firearms away from us, that if that ever succeeds and they do what Canada did and ban the sale and purchase of handguns, they fucking are doing away with everything. I feel like eventually that's going to lead to our downfall. It's going to lead to destruction here.
Absolutely. It'll lead to a civil war before anything. There's so many people, and the government does not have enough, has too much control, but it doesn't have enough constraint on the people that we won't fucking turn and fight. 95% of the military would be against what the government decided at that point.
Yeah.
Like, it would be a civil war before that ever happened here.
I don't know. Like, okay, we might have our own little quarrels and shit, and you see some protests get out of hand, people from the left and the right. And while we might think that there's a possibility of there being a civil war, I really don't see it happening, because what side's going to win. I'm sorry, that's just all there is to it. Right. It should be clear cut, easy to see what side will win. That's why I think it'll never happen. I don't think it'll ever happen. I don't think civil war will ever happen because of that. As Guardian King says,
because they won't. I don't think they'd ever, even though they'd try, they would never succeed. A civil war would happen before that succeeded.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
As Guardian King says, not to mention we have a government that likes to sell our info anyway, and we're just being spied on by them. So the Chinese could basically just buy our information from them, from our own government. And he's not wrong. Oh, Florida is pushing for constitutional carry and is almost passed. That's good news.
That's what Texas has, right?
Believe so. We have
where you don't need, as long as you're not a felon, you don't need a permit to conceal.
CCP. Yep. We can do open carry here in Pennsylvania, but I actually talked about this with a few people one day. Open carry. I don't. While I'm okay with it, I'm not really a fan of doing it myself, because it just makes you the first target. Mm-hmm. If somebody goes in somewhere looking to do harm and they see someone with a pistol on their hip, that's their first target. They're going to take them out before they notice what's going on. So that's the way I look at that. So open carry is cool and all, but I really think it just makes you a target unless you're hyper alert and hyper aware of everything at all times.
Yep.
That's why I like the concealed carry. And not for nothing, man. I think concealed carry should be like a driver's license. It should be recognized across the country. You don't cross the state line with your car and you're like, oh, I don't have a Virginia driver's license. I can't drive there. I think that's the dumbest fucking thing. It needs to be recognized nationwide.
Oh, 100%.
Alabama is open carry and their crime rates have fallen dramatically. That's good. That's a good thing. And I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, I see people open carry here and I just smile and nod. I'm like, hey, good for you. But at the same time, like I said, if there is someone who plans to do evil and they have a shred of intelligence in their brain, if they walk in somewhere and they recognize, they look around before they pull their own weapon out. If they look around and see someone open carrying, that's their first target because that's the threat. I know I gotta go back, Charlie. I gotta go back down and get my concealed carry. I have a day off coming up. I'm thinking that that's going to be a good day for me to go get it. So I know when I'm going to do it. I just have to remember. Just stay on me. Remind me. I will do it. I promise. I need it. I need to go out and man, I gotta brush off the guns, man. I gotta clean them. I gotta go out shooting. I haven't done that in a long time, man.
For last time I shot mine.
Is it when you went with me?
We bought them. Yeah. It's the last time I shot my pistol.
Yeah, it's been a while for me too. I don't go out that often because it's expensive. It's expensive to get your aim right, man. Especially if you haven't done it in a while. Yeah, so
For real.
Yeah, wifey, we'll do it on the same day. We'll both get ours on the same day.
How's that sound? Get mine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! I gotta get mine through Lackawanna County now too, don't I?
I'm sure that I would believe that's where you have to go. Is where you live. Did you have yours before? Did yours lapse too? You never had yours. Damn, homie. Yeah, we gotta get our asses in gear and get that taken care of before it's too hard to get taken care of.
Absolutely.
In case you listeners have not figured it out by now, we are pro Second Amendment. We are pro gun. We are pro America. As you can see behind me, this beautiful flag.
Pro protecting myself and my family.
Yep. And there's several reasons to want to hold on to those rights. You know, protecting yourself, protecting your family, protecting your country from a tyrannical government or fighting from overseas. I think it was a Japanese emperor or a Japanese general that I cannot remember the name of said it. And he said, the reason we'll never invade mainland U.S. is because there'll be a rifle behind every blade of grass. And the fact that so many citizens have their own weapons is, I believe, what keeps our country so safe from outside evil.
Absolutely. Well, not I can't say that like I knew that, but yeah, no, that's a good point.
Yep. And you know, our whole government is out of control, whether it's the left or right that you agree with and align with. I think we can all agree that most of the politicians that are in Washington, D.C. right now are only out for themselves and don't really give two flying fucks about us. And there is something in the Constitution that says if we deem it necessary, we can remove the entire government and install a new one. We can take out everybody and vote in new. And I honestly believe we're getting to that point because they're never going to vote on term limits for themselves. They're going to continue to vote for pay raises for themselves. And they're only going to look to line their own pockets. There is nothing.
Then what's it take to do that?
Bravery, courage, the people to get up in arms. Like somebody has to start it, and then everybody else has to follow. I think there's just
what's the process?
I wouldn't know. That much I don't know. I don't know what you have to do. Because if you're talking about literally going through the processes with the government, do you think that they're going to accept whatever paperwork it is or whatever, signed?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, is it laid out how it would go about, or is that now left up to the government that you're trying to fucking get out?
I would assume you cannot leave it up to the government you're trying to oust. I don't think that's
So
plausible.
a coup is what you're saying basically needs to be done, which some people were calling January 6th, but they all got fucking arrested and locked up for what? For doing something the Constitution says you can do? Is that not what they were trying to do?
I mean, I don't think that's what they were trying to do on January 6th. That was, to me, and I might get hate mail for this, I think January 6th was much ado about nothing. Some of it was kind of crazy and loud and wild, but a lot of it, police officers opened the doors. Police officers opened the gates. They let people walk in. Did you see any of the videos from January 6th?
We've talked about this.
People were walking calmly through the hallways. That dude with the bison hat or whatever the hell he had.
Maybe not necessarily what actually happened, but the way it was portrayed sounds a lot like they're trying to paint it as a bad thing, but isn't that what the Constitution says you can do?
We need
doesn't say how. That's the only way how, because you can't go, hey, government, you're not good for us. We don't like what you're doing now. You're out. That'll never fucking happen.
You need more organization, because you're right. The government is not going to just step aside and be like, oh, yeah, this is okay. We do. I would like to read into it and try to figure out exactly what needs to be done and what is necessary. Not saying I'm going to be the leader of all this.
Let's start it right here and right now. I'm king of this fucking country. I don't like our government. I'm the fucking king.
Okay. King. Ruin the cities and then leave them that way. Spend the money on themselves. That's gross. Oh, to Charlie's comment, the other side thinks riots are peaceful. Yes. Yeah. Man, I wish I knew more about it. I got to look it up. I got to figure it out and see what the Constitution says about this. I do know that it's in there, that we can remove the current government and install a new one. I wonder, since it's in the Constitution, I wonder if that's something that could be ruled by the Supreme Court.
Yeah, because technically they're not government and they're not voted in.
Their job is to uphold.
That would have to be how it went.
Their job is to uphold the Constitution, right? It's not to serve our president. Our president is not our king. Our president is not our king. Never meant to be. Yet, for some reason, our government still acts like the president is royalty. They're supposed to represent the people. They're not supposed to rule over the people. Period.
You know where in the Constitution it is?
No, I couldn't tell you.
Oh, fuck.
I'd have to, like I said, I'm a little ignorant to all the facts. I'd have to look it up, figure it out, find good sources on it so that people can't just say, oh, you just read some Facebook posts. What do you really know? Charlie says, you're not the first king of America, Justin.
No,
I mean,
King
look
George
at
was.
him. Look at him, Charlie. The fucking camo hat, the cutoff shirt that says my balls, your face. The 2-liter Mountain Dew he's got. He is a representation of all that is America. Bald eagles and shit. Caw. He's the king of pools.
Bald eagles say caw.
When you started saying it, you're the first king of America. All I could think about was the Family Guy episode where Peter discovers that his property is actually not a part of the United States, and he claims it as Pretoria. You remember that episode?
Yes.
It just makes me laugh, man. There was a man in the late 1800s or early 1900s that lived in California. What did he call himself? The King of America?
Well, King George was technically the first king of the United States.
Oh yeah.
But so you're talking about the part of the Constitution that says that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it and to institute new government.
That's the one. That's the section I'm referring to there, guy.
Well, looks like we're gonna have to figure out how to get this shit started.
Yep. It just, when you can see it getting worse and worse over time, you have to start thinking about something like that, right?
Right.
You just have to start thinking about that. Like, it's time. The other thing that I can't help but think about is how every great civilization has lasted for about 250 years.
And we're there.
Yep. We're there.
I know. I remember learning that in high school. I think we learned that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always stuck in my head. Like,
Yep.
shit, we're fucking close. We're going to
Yep.
see that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, money is power, man.
And we got none of it now.
What it's coming down to. And all they care about is power and ruling. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I just don't understand that train of thought. I don't. But when you don't serve the people anymore, when you're serving yourself and you're serving your friends, just to hold on to that power and line your own pockets, I think I think it's time. My wife says I have a workbook of the Constitution. Want to read it? Oh, Charlie says, sorry, it wasn't a guy that claimed to be the first king. He said it was Emperor Joshua Norton. It's still pretty close.
I like the term king better.
Do you?
Yeah.
Emperor sounds too Eastern.
Too dictator-ish.
Sounds samurai-ish. Is that a word? Samurai-ish.
See, but there's also a fucking I see.
Oh, no,
there's a law written against overthrowing. Like, you can be arrested for even organizing an overthrow of the government.
But okay, it's all in the verbiage. It's all in the vocabulary of it. Overthrow and remove. So, what constitutes one or the other? What makes one legal and the other illegal? How do you go about starting this?
I don't know.
It is greed. It is all about money, 100%. I've thought about this before too, and I thought to myself, I'm like, man, if I ever ran for president of the United States, what would I run on? What kind of platform would I run on? And I think about it, and I'm like, man, I'd get up there for one of my speeches, like my first speech. I'd get up there, and I'd look at everybody. I'd soak it all in, and I'd say, guys, I don't know shit. That's why if you elect me, I'm going to put people around me that do know shit. And I'm going to get people who know all this different shit, and then we're going to run the country together. And you know how we're going to do that? We're going to vote on shit. What you guys want. That's how our country's going to run. We're going to vote on shit. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Oh, my God. I don't fucking know, man. How's that sound? Does that sound like a good platform? You look like you're deep in thought. I'm
reading something. I'm trying to make heads or tails of that fucking shit. I don't know.
Roxy says her husband thinks about that and talks about that too. It's a shame the regular folks never have a chance, a true vote. Yeah, because when you think about it, and when you listen to the political pundits talk about it all the time, right? When it comes close to election time, they always talk about how much money each candidate has to put towards the advertising and to put towards the campaign. And they constantly get these donors. People donate big money to campaigns so they can run these ads. And what do most of these ads do? They don't even talk about the platforms that they're about to run on. They talk about
the other person.
Yeah, they talk about their opponents, and they put down their opponents and make shit up about their opponents to make them look bad, man. But if you don't have money, you can't run. That's so horrible, man. You need to have money. Yeah, it's like you don't have a voice. And my wife brings up a fantastic point. Most of the country just wants to be left alone. The government just pushes and pushes us more on us, tries to control everything. It's true. Do you know that in
just
Pennsylvania,
like every state, the country's run by cities.
Yeah, it is.
Not by the. I mean, I guess you could say that's I guess it is the majority of the people. But your problem shouldn't be fed to the people in the fucking middle of nowhere.
And that's another big thing, man, is that people who have always lived in a city don't know what the people who live in the country deal with. The people that live in the country don't know what people that live in the city deal with. They don't really know those ways of life. So our two worlds are completely different. The problem is most of the population is in these big cities. So the entire country ends up getting governed in a manner that one would govern a city. But at the same time, you look at all these big cities, especially the ones that are crumbling, and you see what side of the fence is running them. Detroit, it's been in shambles for how long? Democrat-run city for all those years. Right? It's been democratically run, or it's been run by Democrats since the 80s. Chicago is very similar. It's been that long since the Republicans held office.
New York was at its highest when Giuliani was there.
Mm-hmm.
Been Democrats ever since, and it's done nothing but spiral into the fucking shitter, just like Philly.
Yeah. So it's crazy, and that's
LA fell apart in 8 months.
These big cities are getting out of control. They really are. They really are, and I feel bad for the people that are living there. And it's just, I don't feel that's how we're meant to live, man. Stacked on top of each other like that. That's not healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If they didn't stack up on top of each other, we won't have any land to do anything on.
This is why we need to restructure everything. It is. It's why we need to restructure everything. So while I have a second, while we catch a breath real quick, let me remind you guys that we are live on YouTube, Facebook, and on Twitch. You can find us on Twitch at NDT Podcast. Find us over on YouTube and Facebook at Nonsense and Deep Thoughts Podcast. Guys, if you follow us on one but not the other, head on over, check it out on the other one. Just drop a follow, help us grow the channel. That would mean the world to us. The show does come out on Spotify and Apple, just the audio version afterwards. If you miss a week, don't worry. Head on over to YouTube. The videos are saved there. I believe the videos save on Facebook as well. But I think the streaming experience is a lot better over on YouTube right now. So make sure you go follow us over there. Help us get the follower count up on that side. Twitch is a good outlet too. So you could check out Twitch. You got to create an account that is free. You can follow for free. And another cool thing about Twitch, if we do hit our affiliate status over there, there are some requirements where we have to become affiliated over there. But once we do, if you guys have an Amazon Prime account, you can support the show by linking your Amazon Prime account to Twitch, and you can subscribe to the show for free, which helps us out and helps us make a little bit of money off of it, and helps us to create a little bit better show for you guys. We're actually working right now on getting Justin a better microphone for the show to help with our audio quality. So anything that you guys do spend in the merch store or send tip wise, that will go towards that. So just want to plug that real quick in there for you guys.
Oh, what did you splurge on a Daily Wire?
Who?
Your wife.
Splurt? What do you mean? Oh no, yeah, she. Alex, you have to be a member of the Daily Wire to watch their specials. There's a few Daily Wire documentaries I do want to watch though. I want to watch What Is a Woman, and the other one here that she was talking about. Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
I mean, I'm even down for getting a month subscription, watching them all, and just being done with it.
I want to watch a couple of them. I've thought about it.
Yeah, the BLM one, that's crazy to me because they started this movement and didn't spend any of the money they earned towards
That's the Candace
helping out
Owens
their
one?
community in the cities. Huh?
Candace Owens did that one.
I believe so, yes.
That one I
What a
want to see.
sham that was, man. BLM, what a sham. Like the people in charge of this movement pocketed this money and or the one woman bought this fucking what, $8 million house or something
Yeah.
on the
dude.
suburbs of Beverly Hills or some shit like that. How fucking horrible.
I've always said I understand the majority of the group of people and what they wanted out of BLM. I understand that. The way they went about everything,
yeah,
is a completely different fucking story. Like it was all a money grab.
And I think that happens with a lot more movements and causes, air quotes, than we realize. I think a lot of this shit is done. Did you see that someone made a fake Kyle Rittenhouse account and people were donating to their Cash App because he kept saying, donate to help me out with my next trial, this, that, and other. And raised
that was a fake one?
That was the second one was a fake account. Because he was.
Yeah, I don't know which one I follow because I follow one of them. I didn't donate.
One of them's verified. One of them's a verified Kyle Rittenhouse. But then there was another one, and in his post,
but he was asking for money for trials coming up.
Yes, in his tweets, he was linking a Cash App name that was so ridiculous. There's not a chance in hell it was Kyle Rittenhouse, and the actual Kyle Rittenhouse called him out.
And it was a GoFund. He had a GoFundMe.
He was throwing a Cash App out there.
No. The real Kyle Rittenhouse.
Oh, yeah.
GoFundMe for it. Or his mom did or something.
Yeah, so just be careful out there, guys. When you're donating to a cause, maybe look it up.
Right.
And in the beginning of the 2020 election cycle, a lot of the BLM donations were going right to Democratic candidates. I remember following that online. If you went to whatever site they told you to go to donate, but then you followed that site and what it linked to like these Democratic fundraisers. It was
Which
wild.
I've never understood. Like, why would an organization like BLM support Democrats? What have Democrats ever done for them? Ever? If you go back and look
where they are.
Exactly.
Sounding harsh, I know, but
like
they just keep them right where they are. Haven't helped.
If I'm not mistaken, I couldn't tell you who, but it was a Democratic president who made it like ghettos the ghettos. Like he put together for Section 8 and shit like that. You could get housing if you were a single mother with kids, but there couldn't be a father figure in the picture. Yep. Well, that just created a steamroll of people having kids and fathers just stepping out. Yep. On to the next one. Not saying that wouldn't have happened anyway and didn't happen, but it made it like a culture.
Yeah, they could have done more
within the city. Like, why cut out the father? You don't qualify for this if you have so much stupid shit.
Yep. They make it sound like they're doing good. Democrats make it sound like they're doing good things for them. Talk a real big game, sucker them in for votes, and do nothing you promise. Yep.
You only hear it from the Democrats every 4 years. It's the only time they give a shit.
And again, this is why we need to remove the current government every fucking office and install new. And we need to slap term limits on this shit. There's no way you should be a career politician.
Maybe not even remove the government. Yes, term limits. We need more than a two-party system. We need a more than three.
Legitimate. legitimate options
Like
because
you need parties like a far right party, a far left party, and then as you just work your way in and get moderately more in the middle.
yeah. Well, and that's the problem because you could lean a little one way or lean a little the other way, and you end up having to side with one or the other because that's really the only way your voice is going to be heard.
Right,
And they could
like
still represent shit that you don't believe in.
you and
So I get it.
like we both said, like we sit in the middle a lot of the time, but lean towards the right. And just that lean towards the right puts us with the fucking KKK and the extremists, and as much as we liked Trump, the fucking Trumpers that like worship him as a god, where we just lean right. Like I agree with more of what the right has to say on most things.
Yeah. The parties have gotten so far apart, but the way I look at it is so the right kind, and we've talked about this before too, and I know exactly what you're going to say after I say this part. The right moved just slightly to the right, and the left just is like on a fucking dead sprint and just fucking moving.
Oh yeah.
And Justin, you're going to tell me that they took the line and just slid it this way.
The line
the way you
just
explained it last time
moved. You're starting to see it move back because you're starting to see Democrats leaving the party.
Well, and that's the other thing. Like they're starting to see what's happening. You didn't want to get political this episode, and we started doing it anyway.
That's okay. Like you're starting to see it shift back towards the middle because Tulsi Gabbard's the biggest one.
Yeah.
That I can think of, who saw herself as a Democrat, more sat the middle. If she does run again, it'll probably be as a libertarian.
I think.
But hopefully
she said independent.
Hopefully, I wish she would jump to the Republican side because she would get the votes.
A chance.
She would get the votes. If she would have won the Democratic nomination, I would have voted for her over Trump.
Yeah.
Like, she's a Navy vet. That line's starting to move. Like I said, there's been how many Democrats? A lot.
Gabbard.
A bunch.
Even some of the shit that I disagree with her on, like I can respectfully disagree with her.
Right, because she's not bullshitting. Like,
Charlie's 100% right. The Democrats eat their own.
Yep.
They really do. They will rip them apart. One slip up, one wrong move.
Biden in 16 wasn't good enough for him. They had to fucking rig it so Hillary won. But then 2020, you got somebody like Tulsi Gabbard making a push, a legitimate push, and you back Biden. You funnel everything to him. Because they're puppets. That's all they are for that party. I think you see more Republican-sided politicians like the hell's the Florida governor's name?
DeSantis.
He has his own, he's got his own view on things. Like, he's not being force-fed, puppeteered.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they think for themselves, where the left, it's what the party wants, and what the party wants is extreme left right now.
I think the left is afraid of DeSantis, but even the right is having a little bit of an issue right now deciding whether they want DeSantis or Trump. Like there's some internal quarrel going on right now.
Let them. They have to run against each other. Let the fucking people decide. The people will let you know. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Jared, thank you for getting that for me. Charlie, you told us to look up what Lyndon B. Johnson said about black folks in that time. Man, when you read it, it's really crazy. I don't even want I don't want to read the word because I don't want to get banned, even though it's not the bad word. I don't want to get banned here on YouTube, but these people, they're getting pretty uppity these days, and that's a problem for us since they've got something now they never had before. The political pull to back up their uppityness. Now we've got to do something about this. We've got to give them a little something, just enough to quiet them down, not enough to make a difference. For if we don't move at all, then their allies will line up against us, and there'll be no way of stopping them. We'll lose the filibuster, and there'll be no way of putting a break on all sorts of wild legislation. It'll be Reconstruction all over again.
And if I'm not mistaken, Johnson's the one who created
Yes.
the Section 8s.
Yep. Created the ghettos and the housing and all that, the projects. Uh-huh. For sure. Yep.
Wild.
Yep.
Oh man.
So now that all that
I
shit's
don't
out
want
of the
to.
way,
This is why I don't like doing politics. 'Cause I get,
it makes your brain hurt, and or does it make you
oh,
feel so glass half empty?
it makes me wonder what the fuck happened to this country. Like,
Yeah.
So I can show you
and
where
how it
it's
happened
going.
so fast.
You-
Love your title too, bro. The guy in the background. Oh, I love this show.
I looked into the future. Let me show you where we're headed.
Okay.
We need like
He
one of
looked
those
into the
crystal
future.
balls.
Oh,
Understand everyone shit's emotional right now. But listen up. I got a 3-point plan to fix everything. Guy not sure.
not sure.
He's got a higher IQ than any man alive. And number 3, he's gonna fix everything. I give you my word as president. He'll fix the problems with all the dead crops. He's gonna make them grow again. And that ain't all. I give you my word. He's gonna keep the dust on the street. I give you my word. He's gonna
I fucking
So,
love that movie.
what you're telling me is you looked into the future and Kamala wins the next election?
I was gonna say this is Holy's address to the nation.
Yes. That's my address to the nation. The State of the Union, baby.
Yikes.
Yeah, dude, that movie is it's turning into nonfiction.
What movie was
very
that? I don't think I've
quickly.
ever seen it.
You've never seen Idiocracy?
No, I've never even heard of it.
You need to watch it. You need to find it. You need to watch it. I don't know what platform it's on right now. You need to watch it.
I've never even heard of it.
How? I have talked about Idiocracy so many times with you.
No, you haven't.
It's what plants crave. Well, how do you know plants crave Brondo? Because it's got electrolytes.
I've never.
You see every movie that's made about the future, it's about us being stupid, and there's a trash problem. I mean, you could see Wall-E, right?
Yes.
You watch Wall-E,
Mhm.
and that's exactly how every movie about the future is.
Mm-hmm. I can see it, man. I can see it. You got to watch it. But now that the politics is over, I got to ask you. All right, we're at our hour mark. Do
You want to hurt my heart right now, don't you?
we want to do sports?
Might
Or do
as
we
well.
wanna-
It's not
or
going to
do-
take long.
Or do we want to do a separate sports episode? Do we want to start making the
Nah,
sports
there's-
episodes a regular thing?
We will, but for this one, we'll just do it here because it's not gonna.
Because it's not just general sports. It's like it's the Super Bowl. It's the big shit coming up. Is that why? Because everybody watches this.
Yeah, everybody watches it. I'm not going into detail on this one,
Well-
and I haven't followed any other sport recently, so.
After the Super Bowl, we're gonna have to do a commercial review. You know this, right?
Yeah, I work that night.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have to figure it out. You know, all the commercials are fucking plastered all over Facebook the next day anyway.
I
I'll
know.
see 'em
Well,
all.
yeah, we were not going to do it directly after the game.
No. The next episode after.
But yeah, I'll find the YouTube reel and I'll watch all of them.
Yeah. All right, so we'll just do basic predictions for the Super Bowl and what we think is going to happen, what we want to happen, all that happy horse shit. It's going to be real
So
quick.
first off,
We're not going to
who
do a
you rooting
full
for?
sports thing. I'm not rooting for the Eagles. I'm going to tell you that right now. We're rooting for the Chiefs.
100% with you there. And we both know why, because
Alex is out. She's like, sports, I'm out.
there's no worse fan base than the Philly fan base, like I said.
Yeah. And
yeah. I've eaten my words that were on Facebook, calling them the Steelers of 2-3 years ago. I'm eating crow on that. They got one more. If they lose, I can still hold on to that. Maybe, kind of.
Well, don't forget, back in the early 2000s, would they make 4 straight NFC Championship games? Only got to 1 Super Bowl and lost that one. I want to hold out hope that they're going to lose, but God damn it, man! How did they get so good this year? How did that happen? It like quietly happened in my head, anyway. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention.
I mean, first off, we haven't beat them in fucking 10 years. Or something. We haven't beat them in a long time.
Yeah, it's
10
been
10 games,
that.
5 years.
10 games. Yeah.
5 years, 6 years, something like that.
Giants
but their
have not
defense
beaten
was
them
good.
in
Their
5
defense was
games.
good last year, and it hurts me.
I hate seeing.
I am rooting for the Chiefs.
Yes.
That's it, no doubt. I think the Eagles are gonna win.
They just look unstoppable, and the Chiefs are good. But are
Now,
they going to be able to stop that offense?
Mind you, I have to throw this out there. The Eagles haven't played a good quarterback in the playoffs. Well, they have played a good. They played Daniel Jones. I mean, receivers couldn't get open. Offensive line decided to shit the bed again, so he was on the run.
Yeah, but he didn't run the ball. That was his problem.
He couldn't. Anyway,
They didn't.
They play Brock Purdy, who I still think is a dude, but a third string quarterback. Snap his arm in half. Josh Johnson's first drive, he gets concussed. So that's their 4th quarterback of the year. Then they have their running back taking snaps.
Yeah.
You can't throw the ball, you can't win.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to put your defense on the field a lot. Like, they've gotten lucky. I wish the Niners game would have been a lot better. But they have looked really good. Their offense looks like it can do whatever it wants, whenever it wants, for the most part. And the defense has been fucking dominant for 2 straight games. Dominant.
Yeah, I wonder what it's like to root for a team that dominates. Because even the years that the Giants won the Super Bowl, we were not dominant. Like, I don't know what it's like to have a
look at the year after after 07, after the 07 Super Bowl. That next season, they were dominant until Plaxico shot his fucking leg. We were 14-2 or 13-3. We had the 1 seed. They dominated that year. Everybody had them winning the Super Bowl again.
And Plax fucked up. But anyway.
Yep. And that year we had a dominant offensive line, a dominant defense, a very serviceable quarterback, it turns out, and good receivers. And
we had a Hall of Fame quarterback at that point in time.
Ron Dane, Brandon Jacobs. We had Brandon Jacobs, Ahmad Bradshaw, and we had a third running back that fit into that. Like, they were fucking good.
Mm-hmm. But okay, away from the yesteryears of the Giants and back onto this game. So you want the Chiefs to win, so do I. But you think the Eagles are going to win it, so do I. What do you got for a score?
31-17.
I was going to say, you think way too long about it. I'm going to go 38-30 because I think it's going to be high scoring.
I don't think the Chiefs are going to be able to put up the points.
They got Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes is injured, though. That ankle ain't right.
But I still
that ankle ain't right.
I still think there's a chance. It is the Super Bowl. Just saying.
I know. I don't
Neutral
know.
site.
That defense, like I said, has been dominant.
All right. Well, after a nice night here, well, cap with the sports thing and depress us a little bit at the end here. But
My heart hurts.
we'll leave you guys with that. Thank you to everybody who has joined us. Don't forget, whatever you're watching us on, listening to us on, head on over to Facebook, YouTube, follow us over there. Hop onto Twitch, follow NDT Podcast on Twitch as well. Help us out with the numbers there. That's where we could really use the numbers, guys. If you could head on over to Twitch, create an account, you can chat with us over there just the same as you can here. It's a great program. But again, audio version, Spotify, Apple. You can listen on Google Podcasts too as well. But if you guys want to grab some merch from our merch store that is at streamlabs.com/NDT podcast /merch, everything you get will help us create a better show for you. It'll help us get some cool shit to make everything better. That kind of stuff. That's good stuff. Don't worry. Get some stuff. It's awesome. Sometimes I just like to ramble. I don't know. I'm sorry. But that'll do it for today. We will see you guys in 2 weeks again, I suppose. We're going to discuss maybe going back to every week. We'll see what happens. But until next time, guys, we will see you later.
Go Kansas City. Later.
All right, y'all. It's the Nonsense and Deep Thoughts Podcast.